Hi, I'm Robert Resch. Welcome to the Asurface Show, where we share useful information for architects, designers, builders, developers, and industry-related professionals. And back with Daniel Pagano, Director of Wood Operations at Asurface. How are you doing, Daniel?
Doing good, thank you.
So, Daniel, you're launching a new line. It's all engineered. Why'd you choose engineered?
Well, engineer wood, it's engineer flooring. It serves a lot more purposes than solid in many situations. In other words, there are applications where engineered wood would be okay versus almost a certain failure if it was a solid flooring application.
What do you mean failure? In what way?
Well, I mean, it's not called engineer. I said that before. It's not called engineer for no reasons. There's a lot of engineering on making this this particular plank. Once you install it, it looks the same as any thick piece of wood. However, it's a lot more stable, and it gives you pretty much all the resistance, if you will, technically speaking, than any three-quarter solid piece of wood.
So let me stop you for 1 minute. What's stable? What do you mean by stable?
Well, stability. Wood, it's a live thing, and it will move. It's constantly moving. As we film this thing, these pieces of wood are moving, trying to adapt to the environment of this particular place.
What do you mean? Like expanding and contracting?
Yeah, it sucks moisture from the air. It loses moisture depending on the relative humidity of the area where it's going to be installed.
Okay.
So in this case, we have a 3 millimeter wear layer of a solid real wood on top of a special construction. There's different types of engineered constructions, but what it is that while this piece of wood is trying to move, expand and contract based upon the environment, the relative humidity in this place, there is 8 or 10 other veneers underneath of different types of wood holding it up. This is what we call it cross grain, where wood always tries to move within the grains. And so underneath of this one, as you can see, it's probably trying to expand and contract, but underneath there's 10 other veneers holding that movement as much as possible, where if it was one solid thick piece of wood, there wouldn't be anything holding it other than the walls. And that's where normally you see a lot of cupping because it picked up moisture, or you see it shrinking because it lost a lot of moisture.
Right. So if I'm hearing you correctly, interior applications, engineered flooring is probably the best way to go. Is that right?
Well, like I said, I mean, you can go, engineer would go into places where solid would not be recommended. Like a basement, for instance. I mean, depending on the conditions of the basements, of course, you need special treatment, but there are some basements that a solid wood would be 100% failure, where a engineered wood, if it's, if you follow the specifics on the installation, depending on the relative humidity or the moisture content on the basement, engineer would work.
If I'm hearing you correctly, engineered wood's more stable.
Yes.
Right?
That's
and so if moisture is a consideration, or varying degrees of moisture is a consideration, would you choose engineering as an alternative?
No,
you just stay away from wood?
No, absolutely. I mean, there are areas where wood wouldn't be recommended overall, but there are situations, as I said, like basement, which is a below grade area, and normally we have more moisture than an above grade area. And solid wood, depending on the conditions of the basement, it's 100% failure. I mean, it's a problem waiting to happen. Where, again, depending on the conditions and on the installation procedures that you do, an engineer would be okay.
Right.
But a solid, again, it would be, would be just a waste of time and money if you even try.
Thanks for watching. If you found this information valuable, click on the link below for your free A-Wood sample binder.